Okay, guys, sorry about that. I did learn one thing though through these past experiences with Instagram here. While they are getting these uh, problems worked out with everything, basically what we started doing now, actually today was the first time we could actually grab it, but we grabbed the first part of the video and we saved it. So that's going to be something um, that will be available for you guys on our YouTube. So give me 1 second. Let me see. Bobapat, I'm going to pull you back in, brother. And, we're sorry about that. Instagram completely kicked him off and then wouldn't let me reconnect. So, just bear with us here, but we'll make it as quick as possible to get things up and running again. How's it going, brother?
What's up, man? Sorry about that.
It's okay. We actually, I was just telling them that and now we've been doing this for, a little over a month now, I think, with different artists. One of the things we're actually learning very fast is that when that first part of the video, when Instagram does act up, it's very important to grab that first part of the video and save it. So we started saving that. This is actually available on the YouTube pages we are building now. So we'll be able
Nice.
All right, go
So
ahead.
you actually be able to crop these together or whatever, two videos.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, so where did we cut off there? Because I just realized no one was responding.
You sprayed real quick, and then all of a sudden it just cut out. It didn't really show anything.
Okay. Get it going again here. Sorry, the wind's picking up. My umbrella's taking off. So I'll get you set up one more time over here.
Okay.
You want the camera in the shot? Think that'll help a bit?
No, I don't think it's necessary. It's up to you, though.
Okay, well, I'll get you closer to the dust and stuff then.
Okay.
There we go.
And for anybody who may have just tuned in now, we were talking about, this is one of those, like, computer duster cans, right? The air cans?
Yeah, just, you buy, you can get, the 4 or 5 pack for, $12 or whatever.
Right.
So I'm getting a smoke grenade inside here. I think that looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
The wind is picking up a little now though. This one's purple too, so it might show up a little better. Got some cloud coverage.
You still there? Hang on a second. You're cutting in and out. Hang on. I can take pictures. I see the smoke in that one too.
What's that?
Okay, it froze there for a second on me, and I wasn't sure what was going on. But then I could hear your camera going off, so I knew you were actually taking pictures of it. So yeah, I see the purple smoke coming up out of there.
So I had the smoke grenade going off inside the walker while that purple smoke. Give it either.
Hey, Boba, try to stand up real quick.
You're cutting out again? Am I there?
Can anybody else hear him? I think it's when your phone gets closer to the ground, it seems like it breaks up more. I don't know.
Might be.
Why?
It's probably just because I'm on the outskirts of town.
Right. So what you were showing us there was the actual frame, and that's the box that we told everybody before we were talking to them. We said, all that matters is in that box. Everything around that is just, that's extra, But
oh, the little screen you're talking?
Yes. Yep. So okay, so the smoke grenade, you can see that going off in the back. That's the purple, and then Now, would this be a finished shot here, Boba, or what's the process for you?
So usually if I'm doing practical effects, like with dust and whatnot, well, with any photo, I usually run it through my Photoshop. I have my certain presets I'll do for color, editing, and just sharpening it up a little bit. But then,
Right.
you know, if I'm doing debris and stuff like that, I might look at multiple shots that I got where maybe there's some dust on the left of the screen, another one where there's some on the right of the screen, like little chunks of rock or whatever, and I'll maybe just take that little bit and Photoshop it back into that second shot. So I'm essentially using the two layers to make one picture. And I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of cheating, but it is practical effects. It is all dust that I got myself. I'm not adding any of it in Photoshop. You know, I'm not stealing any of it from the internet or anything like that. And you know, nowadays it's Photoshop and Lightroom and all that. It's just another tool we have to, you know, as artists to get our point across, what we want to get across in our artwork, you know.
Right on, right on. And I know there's a couple of you guys that said that you use your phones. Well, now, as for some of those people too, you don't have Photoshop. Well, there are different apps on your phone that you can get, whether you're Android or Apple. Lens FX, Lens Light, different stuff like that. You can actually find, I mean, sometimes you got to really look for them, but you can find different effects you can use just straight from your phone.
Right, and a lot of them are free or just $1 or $2, you know. I have some friends that they do strictly iPhone and stuff, and they use wires to hold their figures up, and you can never tell when the photo's posted, you know. So you don't have to pay $10 a month and get Photoshop and, you know, get good with it and stuff, but it's just something I've been doing for, I used to be in a band and I'd make our graphics and stuff like 15, 16 years ago, and I finally feel like actually have like something I can use my Photoshop skills for on a daily basis, you know, like, and it feels rewarding, you know.
Right, and just in case the question comes up, well, how do they make that wire disappear? I mean, is that something they just pull? Well, see, on any editing app that you can cut and basically paste, if you have, now stop me if I'm wrong here, but you actually have a tripod there where you take a picture with nothing there first. And then you would add figures and then basically layer them, and that's when you pull stand out, right?
Right, so if I wasn't using dust, sorry, I had a bee land on me. If I wasn't using dust for this shot, I would do that kind of setup where, you know, I would take the shot as this on the tripod, and then I would take the figure and the wire out and take it again, and that way when I layer the two into Photoshop, I'm just going to erase that wire on the one, and it's going to expose that picture behind it where there was no wire. But when I'm doing dust and stuff, it tends to be harder because the lighting's going to be different on the two photos based on how thick the dust was from shot to shot and stuff like that. Might be blocking more of the sunlight. So I'll usually use like a blemish tool on Photoshop where it'll kind of take the surrounding area and try and match that to where you're drawing. So it'll take like the left or right of that wire and basically paste it over where that wire is, you know.
Right.
And you know, it takes some practice and stuff, but it is really really good. So.
Right.
But like, yeah, there's definitely apps for iPhone and stuff that do that exact thing, the blemish tool and all that, you know. So you don't have to always worry, oh my God, I didn't get that second shot without the wires, you know, I'm screwed.
Right.
So I thought that way before in the past, but it's easily fixable, you know.
Yeah, they definitely have the tools to fix all of that. What I wanted to ask you, okay, so we went over smoke, we went over the dust. Okay, now how are some of these people that might want to get into the fireworks or the fire, like natural fire effects, or no? Like, have you had any experience with any of those, Bobapat?
I'm kind of new to the fireworks. Like I said, they're illegal here, so it's pretty rare occasion when I can actually get them and use them and stuff like that. Right. The fireworks are fun. For fire, I've seen a lot of people do, you know, the old school, the hairspray kind of trick. If you know, had like a Ghost Rider on a motorcycle or something like that, One of my friends, Manny Bothans, he used it. He actually scorched his Batmobile trying that.
Oh, wow.
So you got to be careful. Obviously, your toys are at risk when you're using fireworks and explosives and stuff. But if you get a cool shot and your stormtrooper gets a little bit of burn on his leg, it might look cool in the long run anyway. And
yeah,
it's all worth it. They're just toys.
Yep. So I wanted to show you something.
I wouldn't be out here with my hot toys and blowing fireworks at them or anything.
Yeah, I've seen some guys do that, and that's just, I don't know, a little more ballsy than me, I guess you could say. But I want to show you something that I haven't seen anybody on IG do it, but I was extremely curious when I started thinking about it. So, and maybe this is something one of you guys out there, I did not complete a picture I liked, so therefore I will not be posting probably anything of it. But if one of you guys can actually get an idea from this, please use it. Tag us. Let us see it. So let me turn this around real quick. I want to show you this because this is something that I've been thinking about. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. And then I was like, okay, hang on a second. So give me 1 second here. Let me turn the camera around. All right. So this is Slimer. And as you guys know, he's this glowy dude. From the Ghostbusters. What I was attempting to do is I actually wanted to use something to make him glow. And I wasn't sure if it was going to take the paint off or anything. So far, the paint looks okay. But so that top part right there is something else I mixed in trying to make it a little thicker. But I don't know if you can see the glow off of that because of what it's in. Yeah. And also, I know that this is a little old, but like the effect is when you get this on them. And sorry, I'm trying to kind of paint through my camera. But if you see
what you're going for, though, yeah.
Can you see the difference?
Yeah, definitely.
So
is that you have a black light on that?
No, that's a glow stick.
Oh, okay.
So I cut a glow stick. Just to let you guys know, if you do it, there is glass or like little plastic pieces in there. So do not spill off on. But yeah, that's something I was messing with today, Bobapat, that I don't know if I've seen it yet, but I'm pretty sure somebody.
I don't think so. That is really cool. They also do make glow-in-the-dark paint.
Oh, do they?
I mean, I'm sure the highlighter or the glow stick you're using, you could just rinse that right off, though, so you're not actually painting your figure, which is nice.
Right. And that was something I was worried about. I was like, I'm not sure, how this is going to go. But if anything, I'm just going to have to get a new Slimer. But, like, I know earlier when I was sticking it on pretty thick, sorry, I'm trying to get it in focus here. Come on. There we go. Earlier when I was putting this in, it actually, like, in the rolls and stuff that he'd have, a lot of it would sit there and it would actually add extra detail, just this crazy glowing detail. But even, like, if I... Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on.
It's almost like weathering him, but you're just highlighting where you want to glow. Right.
Now, see what kind of stopped me? There, I just painted my phone again. Seems like every episode I'm doing that now. On the back here, I tried to put some kind of glow there, and that's where I added that Elmer's Glow Glue to it. And I thought, well, maybe if I add that to it, it'll create a thicker consistency. But as you can see, you can't even see anything on the wall. So I'm not sure exactly how to pull that off without sticking in. It might
maybe try mixing the highlighter juice into the glow in the dark paint, and then and maybe when you're taking your shots, use a black light to help that glow a little more.
Yeah, I agree.
But, I mean, then
this is something.
Then your whites are gonna glow too.
Well, this is something. Like I said, any of you artists want to try it out there, go ahead and try it, because when I was shooting it, I just wasn't happy with the end results. But somebody, Simon Hill, one of those guys are going to do something crazy with it, and then we're all going to be looking at it like, wow, I wish I did that. You know?
I'm getting ideas of using it with like a predator figure, like he's cut, you know, and because he's got that glowing blood.
Yeah, yeah. But I just thought of it the other day. I was like, why did I not ever try to use these? I think that'd be cool. Like, I'm interested in now seeing what happens if I put like a pink over Cyclops' visor. You know, if it would create that glow effect. So it's interesting. You know, all right, give it a try. Let me know. But
yeah, that's cool.
I'm trying to think what else exactly we had to talk about effects-wise. Now, snow, I think we all know that's baking powder, right? That's what you use?
Yeah, baking powder or flour, yeah.
Okay.
I've messed with it a couple times. You'll use like a sifter, like a real fine kind of sifter if you want like that falling snow effect.
Right.
Maybe, sprinkle a little on their shoulders and stuff before you take the shot. So it looks like they've been out in it for a while.
Right, right.
Real fine mist bottles work for if you want to catch like rain. And again, like I was saying, make sure your sun or your light the mist and the water drops. Did I cut
out? Somebody's asking you, what lens are you using?
So lens, usually I stick to, I have a 35 millimeter Canon macro lens. Real weird looking guy with a tiny little lens on it. But that allows me to catch those tiny details since I'm shooting in such a small scale. It's meant for shooting small, like small jewelry and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
But the downside to mine is I don't have a zoom on it. So if I want my figure to take up the whole frame, I'm looking at being 6 inches to him or from him, you know what I mean? So then when I'm working with dust and fireworks, my camera is right up in it too. So it's risky.
Right. Oh man, could all go bad one day. That's crazy. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I've been wanting to test it out, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna go out and try some of these effects, but I just haven't gotten brave enough with my toys. I was like, I'm not putting them in fire. It's just not gonna happen. It's not gonna work out for me. You know?
Yeah. The shot might come out cool, and you'll have no figure left at the end of the day, you know?
Yeah. Somebody's asking, why not the 50 millimeter lens or macro?
I don't know. I was doing a lot of research. This one came out last year, and I knew I wanted to get a macro. And I knew my girlfriend wouldn't just let me spend $400 on a lens for toy photography, so I had to make sure it was usable for family portraits and if we, you know, have a birthday party and stuff like that too. So it kind of fit all my needs. And it's cool. It's got a the hood here screws off, and it has built-in LED ring around it. I don't use it much because I use my own lighting, but it's good for if you're shooting like insects, jewelry, anything real small where you're going to be real up close to it. It really highlights what you're shooting.
Oh, wow.
I saw a lot of wedding photographers using it in the reviews I was watching, and you know, there was some examples of with the light on and off shooting like the wedding bands and the rings and stuff, and it really brought out the jewels and all that. So I was like, you know, this would be really cool for, like I was saying, with like the light shining through the mist and the dust and stuff like that. Like this macro lens really picks up those fine little bits of dust in the air and makes them glimmer and stuff, you know.
Right.
But I do have the standard 35 to 50 millimeter that came with it, which has a zoom and stuff. So if I need to zoom, like if I can't get my camera to a position, you know, where I'm looking down on them or whatever, I might have to get a little farther back to do it, you know.
Right. But,
well,
yeah, it's does anybody else have questions for Bobapat? Maybe he can answer for you. Somebody wants you to set up.
I didn't bring the crackling ball, Tim. Sorry. I haven't messed with fisheye. I've heard though it's real touchy on if like if you're angled to the left or right at all, or up and down and not like centered right on your target, it's really gonna start to kind of warp or fatten your target or make them skinny like a funhouse mirror kind of. Same with like wide angle and stuff like that. If you're not centered right on your target, it's going to have some warping to it. Fisheye macro, that sounds pretty cool. I actually did just get a wide angle attachment recently at one of the swap meets. I got it for like $10 or something like that. But I mean, you really can notice, like especially a place like out here, if you put that wide angle on, you're catching a lot more. What seems like panorama almost. You know what I mean? You're catching that wide angle. I mean, I guess that's why it's called that.
So let me ask you this: since there's a lot of questions about cameras, let's say somebody just starting out, what would be the best camera to use just starting out? Something that's not going to make them real frustrated, or something that'll just kind of warm them up.
I mean, obviously, the phone is going to be your best bet. Just if you're just looking to start out, see if you like it, if you have the eye for it and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're looking to get into DSLR, I mean, I was at Target and Best Buy the other day. I think they had the Canon T6. Is like a bundle, came with the lens and all that. It was on sale for like $3.99. And then Sarah actually was showing me they had that same bundle on Amazon for $3.99, but you also get like some lens filters, a bag, tripod. I mean, you're getting all kinds of shit for $400. I mean, that's a pretty good way to get set up. You know, it's not too expensive, but it is an investment. You know, so
right, definitely.
And I would say just kind of make sure that you're not just buying it just to shoot toys. You know, like I said, I have 2 kids, so that was kind of part of my justification of spending money on the camera. Was, you know, why are we going to keep paying for photo sessions at places for $500 when I could just snap some kids or some pictures of the kids growing up myself, you know, and they'll look good, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've been thinking about transferring over, but I'm just not sure yet. You know, I mean, that's a big commitment. When you're going into that, I mean, that's something that, I mean, it's a tool that you use that you have to take care of, and you definitely have to make sure, you know, it's treated right, you know? Right,
and I'm guilty of not getting my camera cleaned. I mean, there's dust and stuff all up in my camera, I'm sure, but I get lazy with stuff, you know, but like you said, you do have to take care of it, or if I don't go take care of it at some point soon, it's not going to work next time I go to use it, you know, and I'm going to be real pissed off.
Right. Well, everybody, I think we're drawing to a close here. We have the first half of the video on. I think I have it completely saved on the Epic Toy Art live feed. It's also going to be transferred over to our YouTube page. So one way or the other, you can watch this again, and even if there were some points that he brought up, maybe you want to go back and reference, you can go back there. That is Epic Space Toy Art. Like, we just started it, so please, it's not going to be nothing wonderful right away, but it's definitely something we want to do to archive all these guests and be able to reference back to. So, Pat, thank you so much for being on and filling this place for me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. I think it's really cool what you're doing. Like I was saying, the toy community is great for people letting you know how to do stuff that you think's cool that you see them doing. So I think this is a great platform for different artists getting on and sharing what they do, you know.
Definitely.
So I appreciate it.
And I think it's just helping, you know, some of these younger artists. They get to see you guys that have already accomplished the goals they're going through, you know, and I think it's really cool that they realize, hey, you know, these guys are human too, you know, they'll talk to me, they'll help me get up to snuff where I need to be. So, but thank you, everybody. Next week, I am trying to think who we have on, because that switched. It was Junior Bloney or Boogaloo, or however exactly you say that. He was going to be on, but he was a little worried with his accent. We wouldn't be able to understand him completely. So we're looking for a translator that will go there with him and basically be able to have him on at some point or time. But yes, next week we have another guest on, and I will have the new schedule up very soon for everybody to see. So again, thank you, Bobapat, and everybody have a great night.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good night.